question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Number 1 in white, Jenkins, the quarterback, gets a snap, turns right. Oh, the ball's batted down! No handoff! It's on the turf! The Flames say they've got it! And they do! Game is over! Game is over!
Now, let's talk Liberty Flames football. Here's your host, the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
All right, welcome inside Mellow Mushroom tonight for our Liberty football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. I'm Alan York. We'll be joined by Coach Chadwell coming up here in just a couple of seconds. Liberty coming off a tough ball game last night at Kennesaw State. The Owls winning 27-24. We will unpack that game and look ahead to the next game coming up next Wednesday at home against Jacksonville State, a team that's playing really good football right now, and we'll talk about the Gamecocks and Liberty coming up as well. Lots of ways to join our show. Again, for those folks here in Mellow Mushroom, if you have a question for the coach, you can come up and ask it here. Out in social media land, you can email us, lfsn@liberty.edu. You can also send a question or comment on our Facebook video stream at LFSN Radio on Facebook, and X as well, at LFSN Radio. A lot of ways to join the show, and we encourage those fans to tune in to join the show here tonight. Our show brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. Appreciate their support of Liberty football on the radio. All right, let's bring in our special guest, the head coach of the Flames, Jamey Chadwell. Coach, good to have you on the show here tonight. Good to have your family on with us as well. And really good crowd here on hand. Again, don't forget our next show, not next week. Got Halloween next week after the midweek on the mountain. So we'll let your friends and family enjoy Halloween. Our next show, we get back on a regular schedule. We're all anticipating that. November 5th. It'll be a Tuesday night right back here at Mellow Mushroom. All right, Coach, the housekeeping duties are out of the way. You and I just exchanged pleasantries a second ago, getting back last night, or this morning actually, and preparing for Jacksonville State. Again, we'll talk about the Kennesaw State game, but take us through today. It is a Sunday for your team and your coaching staff. How'd you get back on the horse here today?
Yeah, so it's, as you mentioned, it is a Sunday, so that's an off day for players. They do treatment and any of those things that they have to check in for treatment, make sure if there's any injuries that didn't show up after the game. And then coaches, you clean up the game and whenever we started special teams and offense, defense, and go through the positives and the negatives, and then you're on to your next guy because you practice tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And so it's going to be a late day, late night because you've got to start getting ready for that. And then tomorrow is not a big practice; it's still the day after, so the bodies of the players aren't still completely where they can come out and practice at a huge pace. So you have a limited practice. You do a little bit of introduction of your opponent, and then you're building your whole game plan these next 2 days.
Jamey, share with us, and we'll get to the nuts and bolts of the game last night in a minute. You mentioned today there's a cleanup, there's film cut-ups. Coaching staffs now have a lot of valuable people that do a lot of stuff, and everybody is important from equipment to technology, IT. You have an analyst, cut-ups. When you got back to the office this morning, you can't share everything, but what do you look at recapping the film from last night with your staff?
Well, a lot of us, most of us, you watch it right after the game.
Okay.
Because that's the technology now. You can have it, almost instantaneous. With the tablets now on the sideline, you can watch a lot of the game as well while
Sure.
you're on the sideline. But you go through your calls and say, hey, what are you executing, and then where were your mistakes. And so those are the things you focus on. Hey, what were we calling? What did we not do? How did we not execute it, or if we did execute it? And you go through and you grade everything, whether it's a plus minus. Most people grade with a plus minus, and then you grade each position and each position group based off of that, and then you end up rewarding your players of the games and guys that did well. And then you focus on the areas we have an above and below, things that, hey, this is who we are, and things that we're not, and you identify all those. And so you're going through that. And, after a game, you really just want to see, as you go back through it in your mind, you think certain things happen, and you watch it just to say, hey, was I right on that or was I wrong? It's when it's a win, you can you can look at those mistakes as, oh man, well, we made this, but we're able to overcome it. And then when you don't, you harp on those things that cause you from not having a chance to win.
Thought about you going to the locker room after the game. 27-24, Kennesaw State wins. What can you share? What did you tell the team? Because it's obviously the first regular season loss.
Yeah, it hadn't you hadn't experienced that really in a while. Yeah. I mean, the last one you experienced, you didn't see your team for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and it unfortunately it probably won't be the last one, right? And so, but it's also, I think, anytime you have you lose, you don't play well. That's not the time necessary to be screaming and yelling and some of those things. Everybody should be down. It should be hurting. But more so, I said there's going to be two roads that can go from here.
Okay.
We can choose to take it the one way and allow this to refocus us, help us to lock back in on the things that are important, and let this be a great jumping point for us to saying, hey, we're going to play and compete the way we know. Or it can be the other way. We can. Mm-hmm. And I said that the choice is ours, really. It's not going to be anybody. And so we need to make sure which path are we going to choose. And if you're going to choose the one that we all want, then let's show back up ready to choose that. And so, and there's a lot of guys hurting, and maybe it's like anything, maybe some not as much, but it's that locker room, what you say in there and all that. You hope everything stays in there because it is still one of the sacred things for sports.
100%.
But in jest, that's what it was.
Speaking of postgame, we'll hear from quarterback Caden Salter and linebacker Joseph Carter coming up midway through the show. We'll also be joined by Robert Goodman, Senior Associate AD for Marketing and Fan Experience. We'll talk about the next game coming up next Wednesday against Jacksonville State. Inevitably, Coach, fans will ask me on road games, and losses don't happen much with this football program, what was the mood like on the airplane? And it was 2:00 in the morning when we touched down, and I kind of gauge it when the guys get onto the plane, and different guys take it in different ways. Just how they how they process things. And spoke to a couple of players. I'm not going to name who they are, but you could sense a veteran maturity about this team moving forward, and it gave me peace of mind. I'm going to put my head down a little bit as we fly home that this team is in good shape from a maturity standpoint. Do you feel that?
Well, you hope so. I mean, I think we have a lot of guys that want to represent the university in the right way, and they want to go out there and every time they can and win for each other and for the university. And I do think we've got some good young people that do truly care about that, but I think the challenge in the day is we got to have everybody feeling that way, right. and I try not to judge sometimes because, as you mentioned, some guys take things differently. Some people, when they get stressed, when they get maybe anxious, they try to smile and joke. That's their way of handling
it.
Others get mad. Others, maybe quieten up, and so I learned a while back try not to judge how somebody's responding in a certain way because this might be how they handle it. It might not be how I wanted them to, right. but I do think we do have a good presence. I think tomorrow is our first time back together, and we got a chance to go over it. And okay. I think you got to see, hopefully we had a meeting today with some of our captains, and hopefully, that we can respond in a good way because I still believe there's obviously everything's out in front of us as we still know.
Yep.
But more than that, we just got to get our guys playing with some more joy, and they mentioned today that a lot of them it was interesting because I've never brought it up, but they talking about the pressure they feel.
Wow. Okay.
To win. And it said it's almost like a relief instead of a joy to play, you know. And sometimes you do forget that, there's a lot that they got going on, and there is that everybody wants them to win. But if you forget why you're playing, if you forget to have fun doing it, it does sometimes feel like that, And I think, some guys maybe feel that. And then so when you're out there, you're so worried about making a mistake instead of going out and playing the game.
And, Coach, for those fans that might not have heard our post-game interviews, we won't play the one with you, although it's out there on social media for those fans. Caden Salter was asked about that. So coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll hear from Caden Salter. He expanded on exactly what you just talked about. We're going to take our first time out of our show here, brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. And when we come back, we'll, digest and dissect some of the aspects of the game last night at Kennesaw State. And then we'll let Coach get some dinner with his family and hear a little bit more from some of our student athletes. We're live at Mellow Mushroom tonight in Lynchburg for the Liberty Football Show with Jamey Chadwell. And our show continues after this timeout from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
It's Lynchburg Nissan's Rocktober Sell Down. Save over $7,500 off MSRP on select remaining 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 popular models in stock. Plus, right now, trade in your car and get up to 130% of fair KBB value. You heard right. Massive discounts, 0% financing, and huge trade-in offers all month long. Only at Lynchburg Nissan, home of the million-mile warranty. Visit us today or shop anytime at lynchburgnissan.com.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthlight Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthlight Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Welcome back inside Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg tonight for the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Don't forget our next show, Tuesday, November 5th, as we get back on a regularly scheduled program outside of the October midweek games, of which there's one more next Wednesday. Midweek on the mountain against Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks 4-3, 3-0 in Conference USA play. Liberty will check in 5-1, 3-1 in the league. All right, Coach, let's dissect this Kennesaw State game a little bit. You and I were talking during the commercial break, just little things last night. It kind of piled up, and it's a game of inches, as we know. The third quarter, I think, is one that we'll spend a lot of time on, but fast starts. You win the toss. I'm not sure if it was heads or tails, but it's the first coin toss that we won here this year. That's a good thing. So you stop them, you get the ball, go right down the field, Trayon Sibley, 15-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, that's been we talked about getting a good start. Defensively, we got them off the field, and then we go down and score, so you're up 7-0. You feeling pretty good. You're worried about when you hadn't played a game in so long. You worry, are you going to be rusty? How does it look? And you feel like, hey, you started off the game well, which is something that we've been harping on. And then you hope right there, all right, now, hey, let's hope we get a stop, and maybe we can get a chance to go up more.
Yep.
And to me, that was one of the first keys of the game is we didn't get a stop, and they went down and answered our score.
Mm-hmm. That particular score, Christian Moss, 41-yard touchdown catch from Davis Bryson. Take us through that play. I've seen it a couple of times. It was a short little play action, and I know Joe Carter wasn't the main defender on the outside, but he got kind of sucked in, and then Moss kind of just went behind him. Now, there was a cornerback on him, but there was a lot of space over the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's playing his reads, and it's supposed to drop at the corner at that time frame or in a cover three. Anytime your outside receiver runs towards the end, you're supposed to squeeze that and be there. It might have been a completion, but no way it should be a 41-yard touchdown, right? And so that's one of those things you watch video. That's a mental error on us, and maybe they have a 10-yard completion and you make them snap it again, but it goes 41, and now they're right back in it.
All right, let's go to the third quarter, Coach. Game tied at 14. You deferred to the second half. You take the ball and you go 3 and out to start.
Which was that was the first part of it, right?
Okay.
I mean, you go 3 and out and you defer. You score up before the end of half. You feel like you got some momentum. Mm-hmm. That's when we got to go move the ball, and whether you score or not, you got to move it, change field position, whatever it may be, and that was the first sign there. We had 2 plays that actually had a chance. We had a receiver open on the third down. We missed the throw, and on the first down we have a play call, and we're supposed to do a certain thing check-wise, and we missed that. So they're right off the gate. You hope you can get some momentum, and we lost it.
It's those small things as we talked about. All right, then Kennesaw State's first drive of the third. It's 4th and 10. They throw down your boundary, incomplete. But the flag comes out on Alex Oliver. Pass interference.
It wasn't even going to be complete. It was way ahead of him.
Right.
I mean, that was the disappointment. But, if you look at the video, it was a good call. We grabbed the guy there and in a situation where, we're not in the best position from a trail technique standpoint for play man. You want him to make a good throw, and he was going to miss him, but we reached and whatever they called hook or whatever it was, and then they get a first down there where you get a chance to get them off the field.
They score to go up 21-14. You answer with a Colin Carhue field goal to get within 4. Their next drive, there's a 3rd and 9. Ball batted down by T.J. Bush. We're all like, all right, off the field. Let's go. Punt situation. Another flag comes out on C.J. Bazell. What did you see from that particular play?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a vicious hit, but they told us that he had time not to hit him, and that's what the officials saw. And and that's where from a discipline standpoint, from a defensive end, CJ, one of the things CJ does is he hustles. He always plays hard. But that's where you got to control yourself, and the ball's gone. It does just no good to hit the guy. And then they get back on the field and they get a field goal off of that.
Yep.
And so 2 plays, they're off the field, they get 10 points, and that's basically the difference in the game.
Football is a violent game. Mm-hmm. You got to go fast. And in today's football, how do you control that? As a defensive guy, you're taught to go full speed. And what are ways to mitigate that for all types of football players?
Well, the one thing is you can't touch a quarterback
unless
he's really got the ball. I mean, truth be told, they're going to protect those guys unless it's our guy. And they're going to protect those guys. And so you just got to be smart on those things. You can't do anything that even remotely looks like you're going to hit a quarterback late, and we know that. We talk about that. You harp on those things. And you have to be able to play, as you said, with going after people in a physical game, but you also have to make sure you're playing within yourself, and those 2 plays, you take those 2 plays away, the rest of the stuff on, you take those 2 plays away, that's 2 drives they don't score on.
Right.
And again, was that the difference in the game? No.
Yeah.
But we tell the team all the time there's 5 or 6 plays in the game that make the difference. The key is you don't know which 5 or 6. That's why they're all important. And, and those 2 went against us.
So they get a field goal, 24-17. It's into the fourth quarter at this point. You're driving, and you're inside their 30.
25-yard line.
And it's 3rd and 1, and a couple of false starts come, and 4th and 11, you go for it, you don't get it. They get a field goal right back, go up 10, and then you drive, and Elijah Canyon, touchdown catch. All right, it's a 3-point game. You get the ball back, and no timeouts, and time is against you.
Yeah.
And the way the game ended, you threw to your sideline, they celebrate, then the officials didn't leave the field. At that point, are they communicating with you, or are they trying to figure out there's a second left?
Yeah, I mean, you could look and see it was like potentially 1 second left, so they were going to check it, but obviously their fans didn't know that. They saw 0.
Yeah.
So that's the first time you ever had the field rushed on you twice,
Right.
But go back to that. Let's go back to that 3rd down, that 3rd and 1. We get the false start penalty, and you're at the 25-yard line, 7 minutes to go, whatever it is. We should be able to get that. We go 3rd and 6. One of the keys to that whole thing, we don't line up right.
Okay.
I have to burn a timeout.
Yeah.
So at the end of the game, instead of having an opportunity to have 2 timeouts and maybe more time, little thing, we had a receiver not line up right, and then he moves to line up right, but we have motion coming, so we're gonna get a false start.
Yep.
So you call timeout to make sure that was on the 3rd and 6. Going back to that, you talk about little plays. That play, even though it didn't, we called a timeout. That was viable.
Right.
That was viable. But anyway, there's 1 second left. It looked like there was going to be 1 second left. I was begging the official to call a 15-yarder because we couldn't get them off the field.
Sure.
Just to get us close, because the whole plan was, hey, can we get 10 to 15 yards, get close to the 50 and try, a Hail Mary shot. Okay. That was the plan. When you only had 6 seconds left, that was your only opportunities to try to do that, and with the 1 second, that was almost going to be impossible.
I was remiss, Jamey. We blew right by the attempted onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
Once you scored, it was under 2 minutes to play. Again, the time was on the side of the Owls. How close was that onside kick from your vantage point, because it was kicked angling your way?
It was a good kick, actually.
Yeah.
It was a really good kick, and what you're trying to do there is hopefully get a great kick. And it ended up hitting Joe Carter at the 44, so it didn't go 10 yards. It was going to be their ball. It bounced. If it had bounced a little bit more vertical, it bounced toward him, and nothing he could do to avoid it. But if it would have bounced a little bit more vertical, we're going to have a great shot at recovering it, and it's a game of inches, is what they tell you. And but I thought it was actually a pretty good kick, and our guys were hustling, trying to get it, and had a chance to. But as soon as it hit him, it was, we knew that was their ball, and I think that was with like a minute 50-something left, and so we had the 1 timeout.
Yep.
We knew we were going to have a chance to potentially get the ball back. But we knew it was going to be dire chances.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get some dinner now. Thank you for your time here right now. We'll bring you back on to talk what you can share about Jacksonville State coming up here in about 20 minutes. So appreciate the time here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Head Coach Jamey Chadwell. When we come back on our show, we'll revisit last night. We'll play some of our radio calls and let you hear from Caden Salter and Joseph Carter. And then we'll hear from Robert Goodman as we talk about more midweek on the mountain coming up on Wednesday. Somebody's excited back there. Yeah, Jacksonville State coming to town for a 7 o'clock kickoff next Wednesday. All right, we'll take a timeout. Our show brought to you by our good friends at Freedom First Credit Union. We're back to Mellow Mushroom in 2 minutes on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank and Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need, so there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Moving right along on this Thursday night here at Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg for the Liberty Football Show. My name is Alan York. We'll be rejoined by, some fans of me. Mine somewhere. Yeah, there you go. We'll be rejoined by head coach Jamey Chadwell coming up in just a little bit. Any birthdays here today? Raise of hands, maybe not. Austin Henderson, Liberty tight end, had a birthday yesterday. There was a lot of cupcakes in the hotel the night before. That was really cool. So happy belated birthday to tight end Austin Henderson, who turned 23 yesterday. Coming up on the show, again, we'll be rejoined by Coach Chadwell as we focus in on Jacksonville State coming up next Wednesday, midweek on the Mountain. And we'll be joined by Robert Goodman, Senior Associate AD for Revenue Generation and Branding Development, to talk about that and some neat promotions centered around the game next Wednesday against Jacksonville State. That's coming up in our next segment. Time now, though, to take a listen back. Some of the radio highlights from last night's ball game at Kennesaw State. The Owls winning a tight one, 27-24. Liberty 5-1 overall, 3-1 in Conference USA. Still a lot to play for. Everything still in front of this team, including home games with Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky, both undefeated in the league. So some key tiebreaker opportunities in Lynchburg against the Hilltoppers and the Gamecocks coming up. So I know last night collectively we were all kind of bummed about how the game ended. But sun came up today, and Coach Chadwell has his arms and around this team, and they'll be ready for next Wednesday's game against Jacksonville State. All right, coming up now, we'll hear some of the radio calls from last night and hear post-game reaction from quarterback Caden Salter and linebacker Joseph Carter.
After that Kennesaw State penalty, 3 receivers to the left, 2 right. Empty backfield for Salter. Snap back to Salter, 3rd and 8, throws over the middle. Caught in the end zone, right in the middle. Light them up. Touchdown, Liberty. Trayon Sibley right in front of the goalpost. Catches that strike from Caden Salter, and the Flames up 6-0, 5:43 to play in the first. 3rd and 4 from the 15. Salter in the shotgun, gets the snap, backs up to pass on the right hash, lofts it, end zone to the left, and it's going to be caught in the end zone. Light them up. Touchdown, Liberty. Dante Lee. His first Liberty touchdown in the near left corner. And what a great pass from Caden Salter.
Beautiful ball.
47 on the right hash. He was booming it from 50 at halftime. Max Morgan will hold it. Snap, good. Hold, good. Kick on the way. Tumbles to the goalpost to our right. And it is good. 47-yard field goal for Colin Carhew, pulling Liberty within 4 with 5:05 left to go in the third. Timeout on the field, 21 on his 23rd birthday of 11 yards to the 17. Billy Lucas, the tailback, to the right of Salter. Elijah Canyon to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Lee, Mobley, and Henderson. Here comes the blitz on first down. Salter, fade, right sideline. Canyon is there. The catch is made. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Elijah Canyon with 1:49 left. A huge score there on Caden Salter's third touchdown throw of the game.
Caden, it just felt like you guys were going to make a play somewhere. Somehow you guys were going to pull this thing out because that's what you've done all year, right? How tough is it to take that, this is the outcome?
Man, it's real tough, man. We all came in here expecting to play our best. We had great weeks of practice with our little downtime. We had a great time to think about how we can come out and execute, and I feel like we was doing all the right things at practice, and today everything just kind of shattered, and we just got to come out and play better, execute the game plan, and finish drives. That's the main thing. We got to finish drives, and we got to stop all the unnecessary penalties that's coming. I got to make the right reads, and I got to connect on my throws, and that's it.
How weird does it feel to not come out on that? You guys have the longest regular season win streak in the country, 17 straight. How weird does this feel to be in this spot?
I mean, it's real weird. I mean, it's very weird, man. We've been playing too much around and having these tight games, knowing that we should be up, and just today it just felt different, and it feels different now. Just knowing that we should have went out there and we should have won this game, and like it wasn't like every game where we can just come out there and do what we do and finish at the end. They was able to control the clock because they was up, and we couldn't do nothing about it.
As a leader on this team, I mean, it's tough because you can't physically go out and not commit the penalty, but like, what can you do with penalties or just helping, even in other ways, helping your guys?
I was just trying to calm my team down, man. I just went up to them and I told them that I know they're not letting this crowd intimidate them to make them jump and false start. Just be patient and wait on the snap. And that's what I told them, that it wasn't really nothing much to change, just the false starts. And I think that was it, just those a few little false starts that we got at the end of the game that really counted, that we really needed. It was 31, and we got somebody jumped on the 31, then 35, and somebody else jumped. Now we 3rd and 10. So, and that was a drive that we really needed.
No, they had some long drives too. Is it tough for you guys to kind of get into a rhythm, especially there in the second half offensively?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, once they got up, they was controlling the clock, and they knew that they didn't want us out there on the field, so their offense was just controlling the clock, running the ball, snapping the clock at 10 seconds on the play clock, and since they was up, they was able to do that. That's all on us for allowing them to be up that long and allowing them to be able to have the ability to run the clock.
Obviously, starts have been a little bit tough for you guys, but you guys did well. You got a touchdown on your first drive. The defense got off the field on their first drive. What was it that wasn't able to be sustained about that start that you guys had? Maybe was it just the preparation that went into it?
Yeah, I mean, we started real fast. I made a wrong read on one of the third downs, I think, or one of the fourth down we went for. But it's an overall team thing. We just got to go out and do better as a whole on offense and defense.
You had one of your better days on the ground this year. Was that part of the game plan, just kind of getting you out in space running more? Because it felt like, in the first half whenever you were running, it felt like the offense, that's when the offense was really doing its best. Is that part of the game plan?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I knew that I knew that I was going to get a few draws in today, but it's still a certain read that I'm making on those plays. But they was giving me the draw read, so yeah, it was a part of the game plan, and we was able to execute those few plays.
Take us through that last play there. I know it was weird. A lot of guys left the field and came back on. What was kind of the emotions of that moment?
Yeah, I mean,
you were going to go back out there.
We wasn't expecting to go back out there. They was finna all crowd the field, so it wasn't like we can go up and shake hands when they're crowding the field. So we was all just finna walk off the field. And when the fan base came and crowded the field, that gets a little dangerous there when everybody jumping around and stuff. But just getting that 1 second back, I mean, we tried to do what we can do, and we failed right there, and we just tried to get what we can get.
When we talked to Coach, he said that this could be a game that really springboards your spirals your season. You're the leader of the offense, you're the leader of the team for all intents and purposes. where do you go in order to kind of keep this from spiraling and keep this train on the tracks? Because you guys still have your goals ahead of you. You can win conference.
We still got the chance and the opportunity to go out and show everybody this is not Liberty. We haven't been playing like Liberty football these past few weeks, and we just got to come out and execute and play football, man, have fun. I feel like it's not a lot of fun, man. It don't look like it's as fun as it used to be with us out there, and we just got to bring back that excitement and that joy of playing together and playing as a family and just making the plays for each other and not for yourselves, and just instead of being such an individual, just play as a team and just go out and execute.
You said this week, I think, that you guys spent time talking about during the break, why haven't we been as explosive? Why haven't we done this or whatever? How much of a focus is that now at this point, and just trying to get back to having fun as anything that you do in the film room or in the game plan?
I mean, having fun and playing football is the same thing. When you're playing football, you're having fun, and it just don't feel like we've been going out there having fun. And that's just something that we got to change and start at practice, have the intensity up at practice. We got to come out here and still have the intensity on game days. It's just getting too lackadaisical, including myself sometimes. We just got to go out there and have fun like we used to back in the day. Just go out and have fun and execute, man. That's it.
Thank you, Caden. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
Joe, any loss is hard, but I mean, you guys had the longest regular season win streak in the country. You come in here tonight, you're heavily favored. I mean, how tough is it right now in the locker room?
It's not tough. We just got to figure out how to change everything. Like, we wasn't happy with some of our wins that we had, but at the end of the day, there was wins. Now it's a L. It's like we got to regroup and just find the right way and the right attack point to get ready for next week.
Tonight, their quarterback 16 of 20, 7 of 14 on third down. What made it so tough to get off the field for you guys?
I mean, kudos to them. They played well. They did their job. They did what they had to do. But it was just small stuff like flags and just people not being in the right job, or just small stuff that if we all play together, all do our job at the same time, we'll be off the field. Offense have another opportunity, but we just had some mishaps. People's technique might have been bad or just a flag or something, so we just got to play together.
How do you explain some of the explosive plays early in the game, for a team that had struggled to move the ball? I mean, do you feel like you guys came out in the right headspace, or kind of take me through that?
They came out fighting, and we didn't come out hard enough, so kudos to them again, but it's really on us. How we played is on us, and we got to just come, band together and really just get right from there.
With a loss now, does the pressure in some ways kind of come off a little bit? I mean, you still got everything in front of you, right? You still can play for a conference championship, go to a good bowl game. I mean, with some of the pressure of an undefeated season now, with that coming off, could this be a turning point for you guys?
We definitely got to figure out what we're chasing and all be on the same page on what we're chasing. And if we all do that, then we're going to attack every day, every week, and we're going to hopefully get a dub every week.
Obviously, there was some uncertainty to who they would start at quarterback tonight, and then they went with Bryson, and then obviously they had some explosive plays. Was there something maybe that you guys saw on the field that maybe we were surprised at when they're in their offense, or maybe with the quarterback out there? What was going on the defensive end?
Especially for linebacker, personally, we were just making sure we fit the run, and they had a lot of perimeter games and just outside stuff, and we just had to, as linebackers, we just flying to the ball and making play. As a team, we just got to figure out how to adjust. We didn't adjust well, and we had a couple of explosives that happened when we really didn't need them. So we just got to figure out how to adjust and play together.
You guys have another little bit of a slow start, but obviously you get into the half and it's 14-14 and you get the ball coming out of the half. What was kind of the message going on there at halftime? What do you think was going on there?
We just got to lean on each other. We got to trust the offense to score, and the offense got to trust that we can stop them. We didn't do enough to change the outcome of the game and win, but we're just telling each other we got to trust each other and play for each other.
You're a leader of the defense. For all intents and purposes, Coach mentioned that this is a game that can either springboard you or spiral the rest of the season. As somebody who leads the defense, how do you prevent this from being one of those spiraling losses? Keep the train on tracks.
Like I said, we got to all come together and know what we're chasing and know what we're going after. And we all have to be on the same page. Whichever guys that's on that page, we're going to keep going. And if not, the other guys got to get out of the picture or whatever. But we all got to be on the same page no matter what.
Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
And that's post-game reaction from Liberty quarterback Caden Salter and linebacker Joseph Carter in the 27-24 win for Kennesaw State. We're going to take another time out of our weekly radio show brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. When we come back, we'll be joined by Robert Goodman, head of our marketing, sports marketing. There you go. We all love Robert Goodman. He'll be on to talk more about midweek on the mountain coming up Wednesday against Jacksonville State. That comes up next after this timeout from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
It's Lynchburg Nissan's Rocktober Sell Down. Save over $7,500 off MSRP on select remaining 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 popular models in stock. Plus, right now, trade in your car and get up to 130% of fair KBB value. You heard right. Massive discounts, 0% financing, and huge trade-in offers all month long. Only at Lynchburg Nissan, home of the million-mile warranty. Visit us today or shop anytime at lynchburgnissan.com.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthlight Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthlight Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
And rolling on this Thursday night from Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg, the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell on the air, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. My name is Alan York. Coming up next for Liberty, midweek on the mountain continues and concludes next Wednesday, the 30th, against Jacksonville State. Pivotal game. I mean pivotal in the standings for Conference USA. Liberty 3-1, Jacksonville State rolling. I mean, rolling after an 0-3 start. They've won 4 in a row. They bested Middle Tennessee last night 42-20. And it'll be the 6th meeting between Liberty and Jacksonville State. We all remember what happened last year in Jacksonville, Alabama. Yeah, Liberty won 31-13. And it'll be the first trip for Jacksonville State to Lynchburg since 2016. And here to tell us more about it, let's bring in Robert Goodman, Senior Associate AD for Revenue Generation and Branding Development, a friend of the Liberty Flames Sports Network. Robert, good to have you on the show. Midweek on the Mountain continues. You got a lot of fans out there, Robert.
No doubt.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did, man. Love to have you on the show. All right, midweek on the Mountain. Jacksonville State, the 30th of October, right before Halloween.
That's it.
Trick or treat. A lot's going on with that game next Wednesday. Where do you want to start?
No doubt. We've got to start with Sparky Spooktacular.
Okay.
I mean, pregame in the IPF, it's all going to kick off with the team walk. They're at 4:50.
Okay.
And then we'll have the cheerleaders and the dance team perform. and then we're going to have trick-or-treating.
Okay.
So kids 12 and under will get a free ticket to the game in costume. We want all the kids to come out in costume. One thing I would like to mention is don't bring your trick-or-treat bag. We will have those for you. We will have trick-or-treat bags for you because of our clear bag policy. Food Line is providing those for us.
Awesome.
So we're going to have all of our student athletes at different tables surrounding the IPF handing out candy.
Okay.
So they'll be able to do that for an hour. And then at 6:30, at 6:30 the IPF will shut down and we'll all go into the stadium and get ready for the big game.
And it's going to be a big one. Jacksonville State, as we mentioned, 4-3, undefeated in Conference USA play. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Of course. Yes.
That's it.
Cannot beat that.
No, and also, during Sparky Spooktacular, we've got a canned food drive.
Okay.
Sponsored by our Student Athletic Advisory Council. So please bring some canned foods. It's called Trick or Treat, so others can eat. And bring those to the IPF, to Sparky Spooktacular, and drop those off there, and so we can help the community.
It's been a great home schedule so far. We've seen a bit of everything, including that win over East Carolina that went into the wee hours of a Sunday morning. From your perspective, Robert, game entertainment, how have things going from that standpoint?
We think everything's been going great this year. We had a visit from the Flash earlier this year at a 100-yard dash. It came down. We had a photo finish at the goal line, so that was amazing.
I remember that.
We might have some other treats on the field. We might see some knocker balls on the field, some of our students and some of those big inflatable balls this week. And then, military appreciation's coming up right after that with a great halftime performance from Dr. Sipe and the Spirit of the Mountain Marching Band. So we've got a lot of great things coming up over the next two games.
Yeah, shout out to Larry Sipe, Dr. Larry Sipe, leading the Liberty Band. He does a great job with that group. And Nicholas with the cheer team as well. Really proud of the job they do to continue to foster the game entertainment at Williams Stadium. All right, we all know the journey in between the third and fourth quarter has become really popular. It's off the charts. And the Flames quarter video, that has been really synonymous under Jamey Chadwell and the job that his teams do in the fourth quarter. I really get excited for that one because it's like, okay, we got 15 minutes left between this and a win most of the time. And I really think that's a really good springboard into that last quarter.
It did. From the Journey song into Flames quarter, our video and creative team has done an amazing job putting all that together. Really gets the crowd fired up, and especially during our night games when we can really take advantage of the light show, everybody with their cell phones and their flashlights lit up in the stands, from what we can do with all the LED boards. It's an amazing experience, and we get nothing but rave reviews from all the other teams that come in and see that. It's really intimidating for the other team, and the other administrations that come in are taking pictures of it, asking how we do that, what can we do, so it's really nice to come in and be able to provide that for our fans.
It's always good. We have a lot of internal meetings on Mondays to kind of recap the football weekend, and when we get compliments or comments from other teams that might funnel that through Ian McCaw, our leader, our athletics director, and he'll share those comments with us. It's always good to hear. All right, Robert, let's wrap things up with basketball. Ticket information, season tickets for the men's season sold out for the third consecutive year. Today, single game tickets went on sale for non-conference games to the public. Conference games go on sale December 10th. What do you want to share about men's and women's basketball tickets?
No doubt. So single game tickets are on sale. Men have got a great schedule opening up with Carolina University, and the women are opening up with Duke. What a great opening game for the season for them. They're going to be really good this year. They're loaded. Coach McKay has got a whole new cast of players that we're really excited. I can't wait to see on the hardwood. So both teams are going to be very exciting to see. The non-conference season is going to be great, but I really can't wait to January 2nd when we open up Conference USA play. I would say definitely for those games, get your tickets early when they open up. We're planning right now for all of the men's games to sell out in January and February, so get those tickets as early as you can.
And we have a Flames Club event tomorrow with the men's and women's basketball teams. That'll be fun to be around them tomorrow afternoon. Okay, Robert, thank you for the time here tonight. How was your dinner?
Tonight we had the buffalo chicken dip and the Mighty Meaty, and it was amazing. Great stuff.
Yeah, I hear it. Mellow
Love it
Mushroom.
here.
We'll be right back here, not next week, but the following Tuesday to talk more Liberty football. Robert, appreciate the time. Have a good rest of the week.
Thanks, Alan. Have a great night.
That's Robert Goodman with our Liberty marketing team, sports marketing and fan entertainment. Always appreciate him stopping by the show. And, again, big fan of Robert Goodman. A lot of the fans cheering on Robert as well. Always good to see and hear. All right, we're going to take our final time out of our show, brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union, and we'll be rejoined by Liberty football coach Jamey Chadwell to get a quick take on Jacksonville State. Again, they play them next Wednesday, so this is technically their Sunday preparing for that game next week. So we'll get a take on the Gamecocks and wrap things up after this timeout from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank and Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need, so there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Wrapping things up on this Thursday night in Lynchburg at Mellow Mushroom, our weekly radio show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Got a number of comments from our fans on our LFSN video stream on Facebook. Dave talks about, hitting the reset, go Flames. Let's see, Julie is vacationing for a few days down in Panama City, Florida, but still listens to our games and says go get them next week. And Daniel says still a ton to play for with Conference USA Championship still in play for this football team. Appreciate those fans tuning in on our Facebook video stream here tonight. We're rejoined by head coach Jamey Chadwell. And, Coach, I called compliance today to make sure I could ask you this question. And want to get your take on your son Jamison getting called up to the varsity last week at LCA. I know I texted you after he led the Bulldogs to a scoring drive right down the field. A proud moment for you as a father, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a pretty you don't think about a lot of that stuff, as watching, I'm always thinking from like a coach mode, but it was nice to, hey, let's just be a dad, and enjoy it, and just more than anything, just to see his excitement about it, and living a dream maybe he has, and just being able to go out there and have fun doing it with. And one of the things, when his best friend, he threw a pass to his best friend. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I know Mom was pretty excited about it as well. She gets a bit more nervous, I think, than I do up there, but yeah, it was a cool night.
Indelible image for me, and when Danny Winger, who used to work in the football program, he's the PA guy for LCA, and when he mentioned now playing quarterback Jamison Chadwell, and then you see the drive commence, and he gets him into the end zone, and the celebration for Jamison, that would be an indelible image for me, knowing who you are as the coach, and obviously his father, just how excited, the joy of getting his team in the end zone on his first opportunity was really, really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's just a great reminder for all of us. It's still a game, right? And the joy of it, just enjoying being able to play it and find it, and I think that's it's something that I know our family, we won't forget.
All right, Coach, let's turn the page. I know you're ready. I'm ready. This Flames Nation's ready to get back onto it Wednesday at home against Jacksonville State. A quick take or two on Rich Rod's Gamecocks, and then we'll say goodnight.
Well, he's obviously really turned around. Started 0-3, and now they've won 4 straight, and they're scoring a lot of points. Anything from them last year, they play fast. And they're very aggressive on both sides of the ball, and they're arguably playing the best football in our league, right now. And one thing, they're not going to come up here and especially after watching us last week, they're going to come up, excited, and that gives them, if they can come up here and get a victory, that gives them one up in the league as far as having a chance to do what they want to do. So it's a huge challenge for us, and more than anything, we've got to do a better job of just playing the game that we're capable of, and this is going to be the best opponent we've seen all year long, and so we're going to have to raise up our level if we're going to have a chance to come out with a victory.
I know you'll have the Flames ready. Can't wait for next Wednesday. Appreciate the time here tonight.
Appreciate you, Flames.
And head coach Jamey Chadwell tonight with our weekly radio show presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Round of applause for our crowd. Really great crowd on hand here tonight as we talk Liberty football each and every week during the season. Don't forget our next show coming up on November 5th here at Mellow Mushroom. For Coach Chadwell, for Jamey Hall, our video producer, and not Cody tonight, but Stefan Hoagland filling in as our on-site engineer. Appreciate their help with our show. And, of course, our crowd tonight at Mellow Mushroom, outstanding as always, sending us into the weekend with good vibes for next Wednesday, 7 o'clock kickoff, Liberty and Jacksonville State. For our crew, my name is Alan York. Have a great rest of your week, and go Flames.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show was presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Century Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at centuryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.